Hey, good Tuesday morning, my friends. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here with the MLive Morning Weather Update. Always seems like a lot to get to in weather. We're going to talk about the hot weather coming for the next couple days when the humidity returns. That is a nice feature today. We're warming up, not hot, but the humidity will be low also, but that won't last long. Now, I've teased you with the fact that there are storm systems off to the west that are going to knock down these headline temperature numbers, highs in the 90s, pretty quickly. We're talking Wednesday, Thursday. But the other thing I'm seeing is the humidity is going to stick around till at least next Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, maybe Thursday of next week, and we'll flirt back with 90 again. Cynthia Shaw, please tell us it's going to be stormy and hot. It's going to be hot, and eventually it will be somewhat stormy. Hey, good morning, Charlevoix and Larry Pusker and Todd Nordahoff. Good morning to you. Cadillac, Michigan. Golf weekend in Kalamazoo for Kyle Edmark. Friday to Sunday, hoping for good weather. You know, there will be more dry hours than wet hours in these summer type patterns. So here's the thing. Look at this. Let's start with this. We have quite a bit of sunshine over Michigan, but if your eyes go just west of Lake Michigan, Wisconsin, on into Minnesota, the Dakotas, a lot of clouds, a lot of commotion going on there. That is why this high pressure ridge can't last long, because the storm systems knock it down each time, and that's what we'll kind of go over here. So radar is dry and will stay that way today. It is an excellent day across Michigan. All right, so let's start with the upper air flow just to give you an idea of what's going on. And remember, what we're looking for here is we're looking for these big domes of hot air aloft. That keeps us hot at the surface. And then we also look for these little U-shaped bends, I call them. Those are upper air disturbances. Those are storm systems. And as they come through, they bring a line of thunderstorms and they knock the ridge down. Then eventually you're going to see the ridge back up to the west. Yeah, upper level, features can move back to the west. A lot of people don't think about that. And then it gets us into a northwest flow, but not until middle to end of next week. So get ready for, let's call it Wednesday. It turns humid late to next Wednesday. Let's call it about 8 days of high humidity on the way. Whoop. I'm having a difficult time not closing out my own tabs. Bear with me a second here. There we go. So, ridge builds up. This is Wednesday, and this is Wednesday evening. And notice out in Nebraska and Iowa, that kind of U-shaped bend, that's a storm system. This is Thursday afternoon. And it's real subtle at this time of the year, but that comes through Thursday night, Friday morning. And the ridge gets knocked down, but not in a big way. Now we're at Sunday, and the ridge is coming back at us, and I smell humidity. I've seen this story before at this time of the year. Very classic, where the front gets bogged down over southern Michigan, works its way back north with scattered thunderstorms along it, and the humidity soars. So this is Monday of next week. We're hot. And then you can start to see it sliding back to the west by Wednesday. And you start to get the feel that we're in a northwesterly flow. So sometime in there, maybe Tuesday, more likely Wednesday, we'll be into drier air. You could see a disturbance kind of skirts northeast Michigan. And by the end of next week, an upper level low over Hudson Bay could keep us in a northwesterly flow. Cool us down for a few days and really make it pretty nice. Now we go out to August 4th and August 5th, and that's starting to let up. and in comes the heat and the thunderstorms from the west once again. So the high-resolution rapid refresh, let me grab the latest. Maybe we have the 12Z run. We have it out to 36 hours. And remember, that's the pitfall of a high-resolution model, is that you can't run it out really far in advance. So today we go through it. We're dry. This is tomorrow afternoon. Thunderstorms come across through UP. There is a level 2 risk of severe weather. This is Wednesday night, 6 p.m. So dying thunderstorms are expected to come across northern lower Michigan Wednesday evening, but southern lower and central lower still stays dry. We look toward the European to see when that breaks down. This is Wednesday afternoon, and we're dry. And this is Thursday afternoon. Then Thursday evening, Thursday overnight. So really Thursday overnight is when I expect a line of thunderstorms dropping southward. And then this is Thursday overnight into 8 a.m. Friday morning. So you could see that the front and the area of the line of disturbed weather drops south across us Thursday night into Friday. But then you'll notice Friday afternoon and evening, the thunderstorms stay in southern Michigan, northern Ohio, northern Indiana. That smells of a front stopping there and the humidity pooling along the front. This is Saturday morning. So you won't be into all-day rains, but you'll be muggy with numerous thunderstorms. It looks like Friday and Saturday. This is Sunday. And as we go out in the future, we have the disturbances coming through, so every few days we can have thunderstorms. Temperatures. So today it's warmest on the west side of lower Michigan, warm in the UP, cooler, a little bit cooler on the east side of the state. So these are just, classic, about normal temperatures. Tomorrow we bounce to 90 degrees for Grand Rapids, and I think Kalamazoo and Benton Harbor and probably Saginaw and probably Traverse City. It seems like lately the actual temperature goes a couple of degrees warmer than the model forecast. Then this is Thursday. We'll call it 93, 94. Most of lower Michigan, maybe as you get from Traverse City to Petoskey and Charlevoix, the late afternoon clouds ahead of thunderstorms might hold temperatures down into the upper 80s. Then Friday, we take the headline numbers as we call them. See what Cynthia Shaw has to say. My great niece is heading back to college to Tennessee beginning tomorrow. Any bad weather in her way? Before I forget, let's go back. For Cynthia? I don't think so. Beginning tomorrow. No, I think she's going to be in the hot dome. If there's any bad weather, it's just hot weather is what it is. So we're back to Friday, now Saturday. Mid to upper 80s, high humidity. Now Sunday, heading back to 90, high humidity. Now next Monday, July 28th. Near 90 degrees. So let's look at the humidity as one last thing. What I'm showing you is the upper airflow says that the humidity stays high and doesn't go down until middle of next week. So we'll look at the dew point temperature. Remember, it's a temperature at which the air would be saturated, humidity would be 100%. The higher the dew point, the more humid it is. That's really what you need to know. Dew points in the 50s, like we have now, very comfortable for summer, very dry feel to the air. You can sense that when you go outside today all over the state. Tomorrow the dew points go up. When dew points get in the 60s, it's kind of humid. When dew points are in the 70s, it's very humid in Michigan. And I've seen the dew point as high as 81 a couple of times in my last 30 years or so around Michigan. So let's look at the dew point forecast. And you can see what I'm talking about as we take away the highs well into the 90s, we add the humidity. So this is this afternoon. Dew points in the low 50s in Ann Arbor and Detroit, Flint, Saginaw, Northeast Shoreline, even Lansing. That's going to be a dry field of the air. Even Grand Rapids with a dew point of 60 this afternoon really is not bad. Traverse City the same. You can see the higher dew points off to the west slowly spreading this way. This is tomorrow morning, and dew points still not bad in the 50s to near 60. And then by tomorrow evening, the humidity starts coming up in Traverse City and in Kalamazoo and Grand Rapids. Still not terrible on the east side of the state. By Thursday morning, dew points into the 70s, northwest half of lower Michigan, across the UP, southeast lower, getting muggy, but not at that magical 70-degree dew point yet. And then by Thursday afternoon, we're all pretty humid. Some models try to dry little spots out, but I don't know if that will certainly necessarily happen. Sometimes it happens in short term if there's a storm around. You'll get a little bit drier air for a couple of hours, and then it pools right back. Hey, Tony Crino from Kazoo. Good morning to you. I like Kalamazoo. Let's see here. Now, this is Friday morning. Even though we're out of the 90s, we're very humid. And this Friday afternoon, muggy. Muggy as all get out. Here's Saturday morning, muggy. Afternoon, muggy. Here's Sunday, muggy. Dew points in the 70s, well into the 70s. Here's Monday, muggy again. Now, let's see if we can see when the dew points start to go on down. This is Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening, so this would be a case where you're still muggy in Ann Arbor and Detroit and Kalamazoo and Jackson along I-94, maybe touch drier in the north. And then as we go to that northwesterly flow, by Wednesday morning, the dew point's coming down, and this is Wednesday afternoon. And so you can start to see that the dew points will be coming down. Yeah, even by August 1st, we're looking at dew points in the 40s. And, you know, I don't want to mention it, but it's kind of the first step toward not being summer. But there's plenty of that still, I guess, if you call a couple of months plenty. So there you have it. Enjoy today. Enjoy the low humidity. Humidity coming back tomorrow, and humidity will be a key story in the weather for the next week. Get ready for it. It's that time of the year. Hey, thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Make sure you check mlive.com/weather. And it's time to subscribe to MLive. I think all of us there do a great job of keeping you informed all across the state. And it's one news subscription that you could subscribe to, $10 a month, and it covers all of the news all over the state. You don't have to go to various TV station websites. So take care. Have yourselves a great Tuesday. Bye.